Well, good evening, my lovely creatures of the dark, and welcome to the Critical Misses channel. We begin our evening, as we normally do at this date and time, with a bit of a cold opening. We see the endless, boundless outreaches of space and stars, reaching as far out as one could possibly imagine, and then even further still. Drifting amidst this expanse of nothingness, there's a solitary ship, probably a size that would seem dwarfing on Earth, but amongst the nothingness, it is but a speck of metal and chemicals. Inside, we see red lights blaring, an alarm that pours through the systems, and a very, very tired woman that stomps through the corridors, her wet feet slapping against the floor with every step. Occasionally, she slides, losing her balance, but she scrambles to recover it, while tapping into this electronic display that she holds in her hands. The sound finally stops, though the red lights remain. Finally, she says, in relief. As she rubs her temple, she steps onto the deck, and she sees her sister, sat in the lead chair, hands a complete flurry, pressing buttons, pulling levers, a stylus held in her mouth for her own electronic pad that sits in her lap. How's it going? Well, it's not going great, but you know, we're managing. We just weren't expecting her to wake up, so we're doing the best that we can. The older sister sits down in the chair and begins to assist her sister, flipping switches, pressing buttons, casting glances back down at the pad. Are we going to make it in time or not? I mean, probably not. So I hope that you know how to pick them because it might be bad by the time we get back. The older sister runs her hands through her hair, taps her foot a bit. Holy shit. And they see out over the expanse of the endless darkness, cracking open like giant teeth. Reality itself splits open as the lights dim in the ship. Immediately, they begin pressing various buttons, trying to get the systems to come back to life so they are not drifting listless in nothingness. And they swear just barely that they can make out a figure from the crack in reality. And then the door behind them opens, and striding in, casual as ever, there's a long, slender woman, probably 8 foot tall, with a mottled face full of pock holes that reeks of seawater. And she says,
Well, it's good to finally make your acquaintance. Not exactly who I would have chosen to bear the title, but I suppose it would do. And magic and noise.
noise begins to swirl around her in a vortex. Shit! The older sister reaches out to grab her sister, beginning to cast a spell of her own, and they and disappear, leaving the spaceship empty. Having taken a small box that sat in between the two on the control console, the woman looks down.
Well, I suppose I'll be headed to Vanguard HQ.
Suddenly, apparating out of the shadows, long, gangly, wet limbs of these creatures take the place of the pilot and co pilot chair. The lights begin to turn back on, and the spaceship enters hyperspace, disappearing into nothing and leaving a wake of freshly dead stars in its absence. And now we can. Hello and welcome back. Hopefully, you enjoyed our title sequence and welcome to the show. My name is Dee. Thank you for joining us for Tidebreaker Resurgence Episode 4. Where did the stars go? And we're going to hope to answer that question and see if we can even keep some people alive while we do it. So, we're going to start with introductions. And we're going to start, as we always start, with the lovely Click Clack Snack Serenity. Who are you playing? How are you doing?
Hello, I am
You are
Serenity.
still muted, my friend.
Are you sure about that?
No, I can hear.
I can't hear Serenity.
Oop.
Oh no. Well, hi. I'm Serenity. You can find me as Click Lack Snack all over the internet. She, Faye, any pronouns. I'll be playing Hannah Russell or Hannah Chainlink Russell, who goes by she, any pronouns.
Thank you so much. That was my fault. I thought I muted the Twitch tab and I muted the Video Ninja tab. That is my fault. Next, we have the lovely classical Liza.
Hey, I am Glyza. I go by they, them, and today I will be playing Gabi Tequila, who goes by he, him. And I'm sure would not find anything weird with anybody coming into Vanguard HQ at all.
I believe that Gabby wouldn't find it weird. That sounds about right to me. And next up, we have MILF's favorite cookie. It's Husha Kid.
Hey, what's up? I'm always mother approved. I'm AJ, also known as Husha Kid, and I am playing Clevorn Clev, this guy. Uh, they go by he, they.
Wonderful. And last but never least, gracing us with her regalness, it is the petty potentate. How are you, Petty?
Hello, it's me. I am tired as usual because I had to stay late at work. But my pronouns are she, her, and I'll be playing P. Sharp Arkin, who also uses she, her pronouns. You ready? Get ready for your tired magical girl tsundere.
Fantastic. So now that we have assembled our lovely people, we once again see a magical notepad held in the hands of the always tired face of Soren, who's watching with rapt attention as the interior of a spaceship is piloted by shadow creatures. She hears the door to her office open, and she switches it off, looking up to see you all here to receive your assignment for the next march. And she says, "All right, sorry, I was watching something. Um, right. Where's at Alpha 5? Um, it is odd to see Soren so discombobulated, but she's sort of like tucks something away in her desk. None of you have the right perspective to see what it is exactly. Um, but she sort of like is looking across the papers on her desk as Alpha 5 begins to wheel in with one of those like old school like projectors. Like you remember the like older ones from school where you'd with the light and everything. Dr. Nazi Green is not in the room, and Soren sort of looks up and says, "So, um, the next march, yeah, this one it's a little ways away. It's in a city called Tiari. It's in the mountains, sort of in mountain ranges at the base of them. Um, the march spawned in several different places. Reports say that it started in a cemetery and then spread to a nursing home and a hospital shortly after. And she brings up a projection of what looks to be recon footage from Alpha 5. Um, Alpha 5 was dispatched last night and is just making it back today. We're preparing the jet, by the way, for you all. Because TRE is a few hours away. But um, scientists have dubbed this one the March of Reckless Sorrow. Um, or excuse me, the March of Wretched Sorrow. And from what Alpha 5 has gathered, or, well, I suppose I'll just let the video speak for itself. And Alpha 5 presses play on the video, and you see that he is wheeling through what looks to be, for lack of a better term, a horror movie. There are pallid, gray skinned people with these shiny palms and hands that sort of just like stumble to and fro. And there appears to be like these almost ethereal looking chains that are attached to collars around the neck. And they just sort of, for lack of a better term, shamble.
Are these zombies?
Distinctly not, apparently. Alpha 5 did locate traces of bioactivity throughout all of them. They're all still alive. They're just stupefied by something. And as Alpha 5 begins to move through, you see that nothing appears to pay Alpha 5 any mind. Nothing tries to impede its progress. Um, but as it rolls through, this is just an open area of blackened earth. There's nothing here. Um, there appear to be these dark purplish like wisps that appear and sort of like encircle Alpha 5 and inspect it to some degree before scattering back off. And shortly after that happens, um, a this pair of people appear on screen. They appear to be winged creatures, probably only 2.5, maybe 3 feet tall, and they fly. And some of them begin to bark and yap at Alpha 5 in a language that Clev, you might understand. Roll intuition for me. DR3.
DR3. I only get.
Yep.
Oof. I can only get a max of 2. Only one success.
Okay. So you vaguely recognize some of the yaps and barks. They sound familiar, but you're not entirely sure why. And as after these creatures sort of assail uh Alpha 5, they begin to like push and like try and push back the robot. But Alpha 5 stabilizers are stronger than they are. Um, and being a committed officer, he does his duty and continues further in to the thing, sort of just like weaving around them until he comes to a stock stoppage. And he sees a man dressed in this large suit of all black polished armor with sort of like gray etchings. There is no helmet, And that is why you can tell that these features are strikingly human. Unlike the satyr you encountered before, this very domineering figure sort of appears, looks down, and inspects, and says in very clean, plain English, "I'm assuming that this is from Vanguard HQ." And he sort of like prods at it and lifts it off the ground, holding Alpha 5 in just one hand. And that's a pretty heavy robot. Um, and he says, "Very well. You will remain intact only to deliver a message. I suggest you stop making my life difficult. Otherwise, I'll have to settle the score. An eye for an eye, as it were." And you see that behind him, there appear to be three or so people that look a little less pale, and there is no chain leading off of the ethereal collars that look extremely panicked, and they're like running from what appear to be more of those willow wisps, and they spot the man in armor, and the eyes go wide as they are tackled to the ground by more of the winged creatures. He turns Alpha 5 around and says, "Now then, off you go." And not really knowing what else to do, Alpha 5 simply rolls its way back out of the march, and that is where the video ends.
A very interesting man or armored person.
To say the least. Now then, do any of you recognize this man?
Do we recognize this man?
Nope, not at all.
Can I ask if Bull Splitter recognizes?
Sure. Um, roll me. hmm, Roll me wits plus an advantage for Bull Split.
Okay. By the way, everyone can now see Bull Splitter is sitting in a chair like a person. Like they put them on a chair. Like they have a spot too.
Amazing.
Two successes.
With two successes, you ask Bull Splitter, and she says, "I don't know. He's kind of familiar. I'll think about it."
Um, question. We don't hear this, right? Only
Correct. Yes.
Chainlink. Um, but we do hear Chainlink ask the question, correct?
I would assume so.
Yeah, she's not being sneaky about it. She's just like, hey,
Perfect.
do you recognize that guy? Like,
Gabby
Uh,
turns to the bull splitter and like presses his ear close to it and pretends to like sort of like listens. I did not hear an answer, but I assume that he said something very important.
when the factor of gender comes up, boy, I didn't even think about that. She's just gonna look back at Bull Splitter. Do you have pronouns?
I don't conscribe to the concept of gender now. I find it
Um,
just complicates stuff.
I just lean over to Shaw like they've they've lost it. They've lost it. They're talking to a chainsaw.
I now consider you the most reasonable one. Congratulations.
Yes.
Look, I was below Gabby before. I was never gonna win.
I was at the top, and just because I was accommodating, I suddenly go below Clev.
All right. All right. The odd thing is that nobody knows whoever this motherfucker is. I have access to one of the most expansive databases of people, especially magical people, in the entire material plane, and I can't find a frame of this man.
So what's he going on about an eye for an eye thing?
Well, I would assume it's because we killed his buddy in the last march.
Do they look like they're siblings at all?
Well, considering he's a human and the other guy was a satyr, I'd assume not. But this plan, he could be half satyr, as that is technically possible. But considering the report you gave me from inside the march, this is a plan that is bigger than one satyr. So I'm assuming that this guy, he's also leading a march. He's talking about getting revenge to some degree if we push him. I'm assuming he had to be in cahoots with the other person, which also means that we don't know how many people are leading this. This man being an unknown quantity, you all need to be very careful. Go ahead.
I don't know if you've met us, but I don't think careful is the term you would use to refer to us.
She reaches down into her desk and pulls out what looks to be like a hand rolled cigarette that she lights and sparks and smokes. Um, I don't think anyone besides Clev and Shaw have ever even seen Soren smoke. And she says, "Well, then you're gonna have to expand your fucking toolkit, Tidebreakers. There is something. This is. Thank you. This is the effect, not the cause. The marches are. They're a byproduct. There is something much, much worse that is on the horizon. So that means that none of you assholes can die because then I don't have any reinforcements. So stay alive.
I will try my best.
You will fail. I'm not really talking about you. You're I we don't exactly know what is going on with you, but you'll be fine. But the rest of you who don't have affable reality warping powers, tread carefully. And Gabby, there are things worse than death, so don't think you're completely safe either.
I'm sure I will find out soon enough what those things are.
The jet's fueled and ready to go. I'm sending Alpha 5 with you on this one. And Coraline has also been designated as the pilot. So be careful.
Does the Vanguard have like a salute? I don't think we've ever like.
Not really. And even if there were, Soren wouldn't fucking care.
Gabby, if there was one, would salute every time.
I believe it. I believe it. And to be fair, while this is the main branch, you all are only a branch of Vanguard HQ.
Hmm.
So, is there any questions that anyone has for Soren before you depart to prepare? Go ahead, Shaw.
Can I go home?
No.
I
Would you like me to save you some time when you get back from this mission? You also cannot go home then.
I have a question, but it's about your sister. Can I ask that question?
Go
She
ahead.
said she was gonna give me this nice little lamp thing. Did she happen to hand it over at all? I don't know how to contact.
Oh, is that what this fucking thing is? I thought this was a carnival gift. Here.
Thank you. It plays
Yeah.
music. It's really nice.
Great. So saving the world, right?
As we do.
And you see that she presses a button on her desk and says, Dr. Green to briefing room, please.
All right. I think we start heading to, I guess, heading to the armory and then heading to uh the the jet. Just restocking and then jet.
Yeah. Anything in particular anybody wants to grab?
I make sure to grab my what's it called? My clothes beam.
Yes, yes, yes,
Yes.
yes.
Make sure to grab
Absolutely.
that.
Very important. It'll definitely save
Usually our most metro attack.
out of all of them easily. As
I'm
you
going to do
are
that somehow in this fight, and I'm gonna be very happy about it.
can't wait. And as you're making your way through this armory, you see that Kevin appears and goes up to you, Clev, and says, um, Mr. Clev,
What's up,
hi.
Levin?
Close. So I had a request for you.
Okay.
Would you mind terribly if I were to accompany you all to on this mission? It seems pretty important, and I'd like to help.
What do you do again, Clive?
Okay, we're getting further away from it, but I I do a number of things. I can carry things, I can polish things, I can watch the jet with Lady Coraline. I do have the ability for a brief distortion of space and time. Um, I also can bring snacks.
Maybe start with the second to last part next time.
I don't know. I thought
Oh,
the snacks was pretty important.
Miss Shaw. Hello. I
Hi, Kevin.
well, small victories. Um, I was just talking to Mr. Clev here about nothing in particular.
I mean, I'm not squad leader here, so if you're gonna want to come on this mission, I'm sure you filled out the right paperwork, right?
Of course, I have the request to join forms right here. It's just that, and he sort of like casts the glance to Shaw, and then like shuffles closer to you. She she kind of scares me a little bit, so I was hoping that you could just sign off on it.
I look over at Shaw like you don't want to be bothered with us, right? No, no.
Shaw just leans like on very quiet feet using the sparkles from the transformation, so it's silent. Just right in the because it is actually Kevin, right? I want to make sure
Yes,
I
yeah.
actually use the proper name. Kevin Sear. Don't you want to go on a field trip?
And he just turns into a puddle on the floor.
As this is happening, Gabby walks in and is like, "Oh, hey, Kevin.
And he immediately springs back and is like, Hello, how are you?"
I'm doing good. We're going on an adventure. What are your plans for the day?"
Well, I was hoping to be able to accompany you on that adventure and perhaps sit next to you on the jet if you're not already sitting next to someone.
Wonderful. I don't think we've talked about seating arrangements.
And you see
Nah,
Kevin. Go ahead.
I'm signing the paper. Nah, new guy, you gotta sit with Shaw. You gotta be debriefed on the whole mission.
Shaw just smiles menacingly.
I
Well,
mean, maybe afterwards, after the debrief has been done, you can sit.
No.
Well, the decision has been made. But at least we'll be in the same room together.
That does give me a lot of strength. I think I'll need it.
Pats on shoulder. This is gonna be fun. Best
It
buddy.
is.
I've never seen Shaw this excited
About anything.
Really. Were you gonna say something, Hannah?
I do have something I'd like to do because we all stopped by the armory 1st.
Mhm.
Now that I know I have, an alive weapon, I'd like to talk to anyone who might be at the armory who might know something about it, like someone who may have been there a long time or is more magically inclined.
Yeah, do we have a blacksmith?
Yes, you spoke to him in the first episode, and I'm trying to find. He's the guy that always wrestles with Clev.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah,
Trying to
yeah.
find his name. Da, 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 da. Dudley. That was his name.
Dudley.
So yes, Dudley is in there, and he's completely shirtless, just wearing an apron. He's like banging against some metal that's in the forge, and he turns and says, "Ah, Miss Chainlink. Well, it is a pleasure for you to be greeting me. Sorry, it's a lot of smoke in here. Ah, how can I help you?"
Um, she's gonna. How much do you know about weapons with sentience?
Well, weapons with sentience certainly used to be a more common thing in the age of magical arcana. Generally, it tended to mean that a fragment of someone's own consciousness or soul was stored within a weapon. However, there was a race of sentient weapons at some point in time, but they died out years ago.
She's just gonna put a bull splitter. I don't know which one it is,
Ah,
but
yes,
they talk.
bull splitter, right? And
Mhm.
he sort of like leans down and he like grabs it from one side, begins to tilt it the other way, and says, "Hello, I am Dudley Marovich. It is nice to make your acquaintance." And he like waits a second. Are you sure it talks?
Bull splitter, don't make me look like an idiot, please. Please,
I'm
for
talking
once.
to. He can't hear
Well,
me.
then
What do
talk
you
to me and
want from
I'll
me?
translate. She's just yelling at the chainsaw at this point, I guess. I will translate for you.
All right then. Start off by asking if it has a proper name outside of the one that you gave it. Oh, right, me. No. I told you what to name me, not the other way around.
No. Bull Splitter was in my dreams telling me that its name was Bull Splitter before.
That's pretty
I
creepy.
know, we've talked about that.
You know what? Fuck you both. Not
Oh,
saying
come
anything else.
on. Look, I'm still getting used to this. Please. I'm trying to make this work for both of us.
Fine. And you see, Dudley runs you through a whole checklist of questions to ask Bull Splitter. Very basic things like things that she remembers. Bull Splitter's answer essentially boils down to, we've been linked for long enough that I don't exactly remember every permutation of our lives, but I remember how it ends because it always ends the same way. And there's nothing that I can do about it because I'm a fucking sword, chainsaw, whatever. The biggest issue that I have is that I'm not at full power yet, and I don't know why.
Dudley, they seem to be upset that they're not at full power and they don't know why.
Well, I could give you the answer to that. It's obvious. And he begins to sort of like fiddle with the curl in his mustache, and he says, It's so scared of forming a bond with you that it still has its walls up. If the soul link is what gives you to your individual powers, then surely the stronger your bond, the more powerful their abilities will become.
Your abandonment issues are the reason we're having a problem.
Hey, Hannah, go fuck yourself. How about
I
that?
what That wasn't a no, was it?
Whatever.
Okay. We'll work on this slowly but surely. We'll get there.
You just need couples counseling.
Is there a
Gabby's
couples
really
counselor?
good at that. Can you imagine Gabby? And then there's a notebook and then bull splitter on the couch.
And then chain link all the way on the other side, like crossed away. Well, they won't talk to me, so no. Okay. Well, we'll work on this. Is there anything else that we can do, or is that just going to be it?
I suggest a calm night by the fire with a glass of Chardonnay. That's how I build up most of my relationships.
We get a flashback to the first time that Dudley and Clef met. It was doing a nice Chardonnay by the fire.
You still were rushing at that point.
Perfect.
Sorry,
I was rushing at that time.
you
Yeah.
slowed down in your old age.
I'm in such a hurry.
She'll just thank him, get whatever they need, walk away, and go. That sounds very romantic for what we. That's not what we need to do, right? Is that what we? Is that a? Tell me.
Are you saying this to
Yeah.
Bull
No,
Splitter,
she's
or-
like talking to Bull Splitter as they're walking.
Oh, she absolutely does not answer you. When you as soon as you bring up like that's a little romantic, she just goes completely silent.
I love this game. Okay, we're just gonna go. I will give her space. By that I mean they will sit in the seat next to mine on the jet, and I'll buckle them in.
Bulls aren't the only thing they split.
Ew.
Oh.
Oh.
Okay, I'm done.
Funny thing is, you're probably closer than you think you are, AJ. But you all board the jet. Equipment
split
in
bodies
tow, with Coraline in the front seat, beginning her countdown of things, doing her final checklist, and Kevin looking very scared, double buckled in with just like a sack of stuff in his lap. Everyone can feel the waves of evil intent washing off of Pishaw as she sits next to Kevin.
And then there's like the opposite of like evil intent, just like shining intent, but it's so oblivious that it's like she like Gabby doesn't understand that there's evil intent coming from Shaw.
I'm just elbowing chain link. I'm like, hey, flight in the show.
Funny you should mention
Clem
that.
has the popcorn, or not Clem. Clem has the popcorn.
Do we have some time while we're on the plane before we get to our destination?
Oh yeah, it's like a 3-4 hour flight.
It's just like, hey,
Be able to move around when we fly, like just stand up and walk around.
Yeah, the plane's stabilized.
Crab pretzels.
just I can't think of another cane. Hey, Devin, you said you had snacks?
Yeah.
Gotta hand
Don't be
them
rude
over.
to my friend Kevin. The name is Kevin. Clev.
Somehow this is worse. And he'll
What-
like go ahead.
No, this is what you got there.
He reaches into his bag and produces some Candace Cherry Pops, which is like a Idol branded snack that's just like essentially like a Jolly Rancher on a stick. So it's a little better than like a Dum Dum or like a sucker, but that's the first thing he pulls out.
Mhm.
I guess I really like idol bands, and he starts to reach over Shaw, and then stops, unbuckles the seatbelt, gets up, and walks over to you to hand it to you, and then sits back down and buckles the seatbelt again. I also baked some cookies if anyone likes chocolate.
I
Oh hell
do.
yeah!
Oh wow. Um. Okay. Uh. Oh right. I wanted to keep them warm. You see, he reaches his fingers up and draws a line down, and just this eye in reality opens up. And he reaches in, pulls out a tray of pretty fresh cookies. He goes, "Here you go. Uh, Shaw, would you like a? It's it's chocolate chip."
Oh, thank you very much, but no, I think I'll refrain, but I do sincerely appreciate it.
You're welcome. Uh,
I'm gonna walk over, grab a cookie, and she's gonna whisper in Kevin's ear and go, "Damn, Melvin, she's feeding off your torment." And then just take like a hand, like a couple.
Um, Gabby will walk up, grab some cookies, and then take a tape out and stick one on Bull Splitter, and then goes back to just because he might want one.
yeah,
And
yeah.
then goes back to goes back to Kevin and goes while eating the cookie. Goes, can you do that thing again?
Uh, not for a little while. It's sort of like I have to have like 10 minutes in between.
Okay, well, after 10 minutes, call me, and then we'll do that again because I want to try something.
Okay. Sure. Yeah, absolutely.
10 minutes. I suppose that might be enough time. And let me know if I can do this.
All right.
Um,
The answer's probably yes.
so for purposes of this thing, because I don't really want any mechanical effect aside from one. So how many sheep can I summon at once for the purposes of the scene? We're not in a fight or anything.
Oh, if for like non-mechanical
Non-mechanical.
benefit, you could summon the whole
Cool.
flock, which
Great.
is about
So
15
you
sheep.
just see like around Pisha and Kevin, just the sheep, they slowly, it looks like a wall of sheep that starts building up slowly around them, just like bricks of sheep. Except they're actual sheep, like just stacked up until
Mhm.
there's like this dome of sheep, and they all like scrunch together, so it's a nice little like soundproof wall. Like you put the foam up in your wall. It's like that, but it's all composed of
Sure,
the
yeah.
sheep, all different colors, different hairstyles, all that.
Uh,
So, best buddy.
Fully, Cleb is gone. The tray of cookies gone. Cleb is
Are you back
fully,
in the corner
fully,
where he's like
fully
eating?
in the background, just
I am standing at the wall of sheep and is counting it.
and the sheep are like menacing, like that one classic movie scene that's like warriors come out to play. They're like doing like the gang snaps like all around just because they've noticed it's like, oh, we're tormenting this person. It's like understood.
I just imagine it's just all these sheeps. They're all snapping in unison, in sync, and it's just like it doesn't even have their feet. It's like the darkened face, but just the glowing red eyes.
Yep,
It's
yep.
like
Outside of the one with the pompadour and the sunglasses, who's like toothpick in mouth. And you were saying, Shaw?
Oh yeah, so I was saying, so turns and just like, so Kevin, I think it's really obvious you're like our dear compatriot Gabby.
Yeah, he's a well-respected member of the Vanguards.
Oh, we both know it's more than that.
I am sure I don't know what you are talking about, ma'am.
Kevin, best buddy,
Hmm,
I'm here to help you.
really?
Let me be your wing woman.
I do I do really like Gabby in a totally platonic way. And
It's a safe space here.
I don't feel very safe.
That's why I made sure all my little friends were here so our conversation couldn't be overheard.
And again, aggressive sheep snapping. Right. Um okay. What do you think I should do?
Well, Gabby seems to really like romantic things, so you should plan out the perfect romantic getaway. We're not on missions all the time.
Hmm.
Have your little date plan. Make a lunch. You're good at keeping things warm. You can make a little lunch. Those little octopus weenies. I'm not entirely sure. That seems to be popular.
Like in the bento boxes. Yeah. Uh
Mhm.
yeah, that's a good idea.
It's a great idea.
Uh thank thank you, Shaw.
No problem, best buddy.
Why are the sheep snapping? Why does that one have a pompadour?
Oh, that's Billy. The hairstyle denotes ranking amongst the herd.
Oh, okay. They are they are cute. Are they made of cotton candy?
And there's like a genuine sparkle comes to shall I? So it's really interesting actually. It's kind of so it's not quite cotton candy. If you eat them that's the consistency, but technically it's more just it's like really cold sugar molecules. It's really fascinating. I'm sorry. We're supposed to be focusing on your love life. I got distracted. I'm sorry.
Uh yeah, no problem. And
You can
with
pet one if
that,
you like.
oh, he absolutely does get up and just sort of like, "Oh, it's so soft." Um
And at
and
10 minutes, just drop.
yeah, and unless anyone else has anything in particular they would like to do, I'm
Gabby is
just
asleep on the floor.
amazing, fantastic.
I'm
Um
gonna ask Bull Splitter if they actually want to eat a cookie, other than have it taped to the front of them.
I don't think that would be physically possible. They
I
do
could
smell good though.
I could put it in your gas tank.
That we can find a better way to phrase that than that.
I don't know what you want to call it.
Fuel area.
Mm, that sounds worse.
Just feed me the fucking cookie. And also while y'all are on the plane, there is sort of like the classic like bong that chimes out over as the jet's intercoms goes. Attention passengers. Now speaking is Coraline's vocal AI. Since she doesn't have use of her hands, she will speak to you through text to speech. Someone bring me a fucking cookie. They smell good.
This clap has all the cookies. Clap will go to the pilot seat.
As you step in, you see that Coraline's hair is sort of pulled back into a high ponytail, which makes like the very wavy blue hair. It almost looks like a river that is running down her back. She's got the big aviators and like this big puffy leather jacket, um, and like this nice scarf that's like tucked into the middle of it. She sees you and goes, and then grabby hands at you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we'll give cookies.
And as she takes like 3 or 4 cookies from you, she opens her mouth and, like, the shark teeth just, like, pop up, and she's and with that, nothing else really happens on your, um 3-hour to 4-hour, journey across the continent of Maneus.
Before
Go
we
ahead.
end, I do
Sure,
want to
sure.
try something with
Right. Yes, 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 the portal. So Kevin comes over to you and says, um, I think I'd be able to use my powers again. Uh,
open it, but before you do, don't be alarmed. Two things: don't be alarmed and don't stop me.
okay. And he very cautiously puts his finger up and then drags it down, and the crack in reality sort of
How big is the crack?
it's about chest sized, I'd say.
Sweet. Gabby is gonna put fully his head through just to look around.
Okay. So you you stick what's the rating on this show? Okay, so you stick your head
What do
into
you
the
mean?
rip in reality, and Kevin just blushes the deepest red and says, "Gabby, Gabby, no, Gabby, stop!" And like like grabs you by the waist and pulls you backwards. And says, "That's hey, I'm something that's I'm called an umbromancer. Um, this is my own demi plane. That's the inside of my shadow. That's oh dear." And he sits down and is just like he's so red and embarrassed. He's just like looking at the ground.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I thought it was just a different plane of existence. I didn't realize it was part of you, and I'm sorry. I should
No,
have.
no, it's okay. I just didn't think you'd do that. Um, but yeah, I'm what's called an umbromancer. I use a lot of shadow magic, and those of us who are born with an aptitude for it, we have our own little like uh demi plane essentially that exists within our shadow where we do shadow work and practice our magic. And I've just never had a person. Oh God. He
You
just
feel
covers
me
his
inside
face.
you?
Ah, uh, I was trying with all my might to avoid phrasing it like that.
You see, Shaw like maneuvers herself so she's within range of like Kevin being able to see, but not necessarily Gabby,
Uh,
and kind of puts up like again same maniacal smile, puts up a three, two thumbs up.
and he just like can't even look at you and just looks back at the ground.
Uh, Chain Link's gonna grab Bull Splitter, face like covered, walk to the front to sit co-pilot, and just
Mhm.
kind of like sink and go, like and like go past Clev, get in and go. Don't go back there right now.
And you see that Coraline sort of like presses a button on the choker on the side of her neck, which says, "Why? What the hell's going on back there?"
It's a lot. I don't know how to explain it. More so than I think we all saw something we shouldn't have.
Hmm. Weird. Oh, whatever. Mile High Club and all that. She just like goes back to holding the wheel. She's like, whatever.
Are you able to
All right.
travel through shadows, Kevin?
Yes. Yeah. Um. I haven't been able to do much research because it's a little rude, but the upper limit of my teleportation powers isn't really known to me.
Hmm.
Theoretically, any shadow that I know of, I could step through.
Have you ever tried stepping through a different world?
I don't know anyone from a different world, so I don't know what their shadows look
Know
like.
me?
And he sort of looks to you and like cocks his head to the side and says, "What do you mean?"
I'm not from this world.
Really? And you see that like Kevin is very genuinely interested. He did not appear to know this about you. Maybe that's why you're so alluring.
Alluring? You find me alluring?
Um, no, well, yes, but not. I'm just gonna be quiet
Well, Kevin, you're quite alluring yourself.
and
And then
just like go ahead,
Gabby
go
does
ahead.
just stand up and goes, pats him on the shoulder. If you ever figure out more about that shadow thing, tell me.
Okay.
And then just munches on some cookies.
Kevin leans back and says, "Okay, I'm gonna take a nap now," and just puts an eye mask on over his face, and then a face mask on over his face as well, and just sits there for the rest of the
Just got a
flight.
message chain link was like, uh, Cameron died.
You just get lowercase LMAO.
So valid, bestie. All right, and with that having been said, you all begin your descent downward towards the largest march that you have seen thus far. An entire half of this city has been blotted out by that same opaque orb with the goldfish swimming through the clouds on the one side of it. Um, and as you begin to land, you see that there are several people who are sort of like making their way. A lot of these people appear to be wearing like very similar clothing. The styles differ a little bit, but the colors always match. You assume that it's a uniform to some degree. Um, and yeah, you all deplane, and Coraline turns and says, signs to you, Cleve, and says, "You want me to keep Kevin on here, or is he going with y'all?"
I think Kevin's staying on the plane for this one.
Sure. Yeah, we can be back up. That's cool. As the tiebreaker,
Be
go ahead.
safe, best buddy.
And you hear like
Kevin,
you hear first like a very startled like of acknowledgement, and then um as you all deplane, you're immediately approached by this sort of scruffy looking human dude with this dark brown hair, and he says, "Well, you all must be the Tidebreakers. My name is Special Agent Joe McNamara. Welcome to the city of Tiari.
I'm sick of you.
It's nice to make your acquaintance."
Fuck you. First of
hello,
all.
Joe.
And he extends a hand out to you, Gabby. "Well, I'm glad to welcome Tidebreakers. I haven't worked with you very often. Then again, our sector of the government special forces is a bit self-contained. We don't make a lot of noise. Have you been told about the ground zero of everything that's going on, I assume?"
As much as we can.
"Oh, wonderful. Wonderful. Well, the entry point is about 500 feet that way, and nothing but clouds and goldfish on the outside, I can tell you that much."
Goldfish?
I'm pretty sure I don't really know much about seafood.
Are the fish just on the ground outside?
They're swimming in the clouds of the dome,
Are they
ominously.
is this goldfish like different in any way than the one that we saw when we were looking at the first march?
As you approach the march, you see that the fish do look slightly different. Whereas the first ones were sort of like a darker, like reddish color. These ones are like dark purple.
Prettier.
Anything else you could tell us, Agent?
Nothing in particular, but definitely be careful when you go in there. We've gotten a couple of runouts, and the way they describe the place is quite dire. So move carefully.
We've been
But before you go in there, make sure your watches are synchronized. I've been getting reports of potential time distortion. And he sort of like nods at you all and turns back to his squad.
great.
He was helpful.
He seemed very helpful.
Guess let's sync our watches because we gotta be as careful as possible.
Sure.
Sync. Works.
Yes, the universal signal for syncing.
Sync.
Sync.
Of course, of course.
Is there? Can I make like a general kind of like what am I trying to do? Like trying to look for a secret. Like if there's anything peculiar around here.
Yeah, you can go ahead and roll for me. If you're actively looking, I would say go ahead and roll for me on wits.
Can I use watchful?
What does watchful do?
You are always considered alert when an opponent attempts to break in. You're considered alert for like a any opponent attempt to break and enter a location you inhabit, but also your rolls to uncover secrets ignite.
Okay, absolutely. So I'll say go ahead and take an advantage on this roll, and if you get a
Cool.
6, it explodes.
Well, I got all three. I did get a 6, but all three of them passed anyway.
Okie doke. So, you are going to notice that the march is slowly expanding. And that is likely why this one has gotten so big. The other one was stagnant, almost as though it had an upper limit on how big it could get or was set to get. And this one is still like ever slowly crawling forward.
Okay. I'll tell Shaw. I'll just kind of let Shaw know as the leader.
So just to be clear, so it's stagnant, but it's slowly growing here in this marsh?
So the previous one was stagnant, but this one seems to be slowly inching to expand.
Okay. Probably has to do with that time source thing. So yeah, now it's like, this sounds like more work.
Faster we clean it up, the faster we're back.
That is accurate. All right, let's go see who needs their attitude adjusted.
I'm gonna
Alright,
send
so,
a message towards Coraline and Kevin, just like, hey, beware, this thing is still growing. If you need to move, move.
Sounds good. We've got Alpha 5 on the roof. He's keeping an eye on it. And just as a note, Tidebreakers, I am synced into all of your communications, so if I notice anything odd about the march, I'll let you know.
You'll be able to communicate with us because last time we kind of got cut off.
Exactly. This time we won't.
Gotcha.
We'll
I'm not
see.
questioning it. If Alpha says that we're gonna connect with that, we're gonna connect.
All right. Are y'all ready to step into Zimaf?
Yes.
Let's do it. Let's enter into this domain expand. I mean, this march.
Not
Totally.
domain.
It's completely different. There's not. It's not like there hasn't been any Jujutsu Kaisen references.
It's not like we
yet
weren't
for a
watching out
reason.
literally before this game.
No, that'd be weird. So you all, I don't make references in my games. So you all step into the March of Wretched Sorrow, and as you do, you feel the same sensation of like walking through fog almost as you step into this, and your face is left just a touch saturated by the water, but on the inside this place looks different. The ground is still that dark, sort of horrible earth. Um, but there are small buildings and a couple of different like tables almost looks like set up throughout here. And most notably, every oh, I'd say 50 feet, there is a tree. These large, gnarled trees that look dead and they are bare of leaves, but some of them have fully ripe pomegranates that are grown at the ends of the branches. So, not
Um,
exactly what Alpha 5 saw.
um, Pomegranates are Gabby's favorite food.
Fantastic.
Sweet.
No!
As soon as Gabby sees the pomegranate, he is running up and shouting, "Pomegranates!"
No! just taking off running after Gabby. Normally, Shaw just be like, whatever, if you all die, whatever. Shaw seems actively vested. I mean, less like Shaw's going to try and stop Gabby, not fight, but like try and like grab Gabby by the back of his like shirt or something.
Makes sense. Makes sense. So, you go to Grabby Gabby,
Mhm.
and
Yep.
Gabby, seeing that Shaw like very much wants you not to grab one of those. Do you still are you still going for it, or what you doing?
I'm going to toss a dice. Odds I don't notice you grab me or try to grab me. Even I do, and then that'll decide.
Sure. Yeah.
It is even, so I do notice, and then I stop, and then I look at you, and has this like sad face. Well, pomegranate.
I will feed you all the cotton candy you want if you don't eat that fruit.
Okay.
So
Can
you were
you
saying
make them into the shape of pomegranates?
They'll be in the shape of sheep. I can give you a purple sheep.
Am I just gonna eat it from the sheep?
You're gonna eat the sheep. Now, which my power. This is literally what happens. Um,
Sheep are
I'm gonna eat the
consumable.
sheep?
It does not harm them in the slightest.
not at all. I eat them all the time. They're fine. They're dream sheep, but also real.
Okay.
Yeah.
And they're okay with this.
Yeah.
It's one of their favorite things to do.
Oh, okay.
Shaw specifically for what you eat them for, they love doing that. But they're like, yeah, whatever. We're cotton candy. You're supposed to eat us. That works.
Okay.
Oh shoot! Where's the page where I have all the things listed?
I will have a conversation with the sheep while I'm eating it.
Sure. Yeah, you are currently. You wanted a purple one, right, for pomegranate? Yes. So you are eating Philip.
Hello,
Look at
Mr.
my
Sheep.
son.
May I?
Oh no, it's Fluffy!
Right, it's not the word I'm looking for.
Flappy is pink. And
Hello,
also-
may I eat you?
It just sort of waddles up to you.
Ooh, Philip, you outshine the morning sun.
That's enough out of you.
Stop it. I'm trying to
My
find what actually happens when you eat my sheep, and I can't find it. Where's my powers?
It's just they're
Uh,
like ba 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 ba.
There's an
it
actual benefit.
what I do remember, I can look up exactly what we said it did, but what I do definitely remember is it would restore something that Gabby is not missing because you're all like completely fresh, like you haven't taken
That's
any
fair.
combat damage, so it would be something that like you can't restore anyway, but it does do something to consume.
Yeah. You feel a little pep in your step.
so
Nice.
uh you were saying that we didn't see this from Alpha 5's footage.
Correct. You did not see any of the trees and like structures that are around.
And we assumedly entered the same way that he did.
Mhm.
Mm, can Alpha 5 see what we're seeing or just hear
You
us?
can ask him.
Hey, Alpha, can you see this?
Oh yes.
What,
I mean, you just asked him if he could see it.
Yeah.
what do you,
Oh yeah.
you didn't see, this wasn't here when you came in.
It I apologize. I'm not exactly sure what you mean, Clev. It looks exactly the same as when I went in there.
The trees?
Please? Perhaps I'm missing something. I don't believe my optic nerves are malfunctioning. I just see open ground.
I'm not
Hmm.
gonna die if I eat some of these fruits.
No, Pajah is watching you.
All
Uh,
right.
That is the
Sure.
first time I got your name. Damn it.
Is like, Shaw, can I just trying to grab one and just hold it in front of whatever optic thing that.
Oh yeah,
you
as long as you're not trying to eat it,
No, I'm
fine.
not gonna eat it.
you grab a pomegranate and it's weighty. It looks like a fruit. It's you can tell that it's very ripe.
Alpha 5, what's in my hand?
I don't see anything. Should I be?
Yeah, there's a pomegranate in my hand.
Right, of course, a pomegranate. I see that.
Alpha.
I don't see it. I don't see anything. I'm sorry.
Hmm.
You're such a good robot, Alpha 5.
Oh, thank you. Need to sharpen my pomegranate visual skills, apparently.
Can I? Hmm.
Just let me
What is?
eat it.
I'm trying to think of like. Uh, I like take out like a piece of paper that like I don't know. I probably had a piece of paper on me or
A
something, and I put
receipt.
it on top of the pomegranate. It's like, do you see that?
I do see the piece of paper, and it's levitating above your hand.
Yeah, that's there's. I don't know. I don't understand why this isn't showing up on your scanners.
What if
It's
we ask?
because he is mechanical, darling.
Was that in
You
my just
turn,
what?
you all turn to see this 8 foot tall woman with a face that is as still as a mask and full of pockmarks, and she smells of the ocean and the pier. She's about 8 foot 2, and she's just standing there in this elegantly long, dark black dress that sort of drags along the floor to the point where it looks like an extended shadow.
He cannot see them because he is not a biological creature. In my time, we referred to them as constructs. Some called them warforged.
Gabby is
He
on
does
her
not have a
knees.
soul.
My lady, you are allow me to say this, stunning.
I have heard such things.
May I ask your name?
You may not, though I've come to impart a bit of wisdom on you all. The man who inhabits and directs this march is a stubborn fool. It would do you well to skip the bargaining phase with him. Just cut him down and move along. And as far as the people,
And she reaches her hand backwards, and you see that suddenly some of those people with the clasps around their neck and the chains, and she beckons them forward.
you can save them by removing these pesky things. And she reaches down.
To their shining hands and plucks out a gem similar to the gems that you saw in the first march.
They're called crucius crystals. Unsavory things built for an annoying purpose. Discard them, and they shall return to normal.
Thank you,
You
Your
are
Majesty.
being Gabby down. Down, Gabby, down. Heal. You're being quite forthcoming with us.
Do I have reason to not be?
Usually, look, I may not know much, but usually unknown entity just giving us information for free doesn't usually go that way.
Hmm.
What do you get out of this?
Well, you're young, Clem. You have not seen as much as I have. And I assure you, I have a vested interest in not only the success of the vanguards of Visoran, but also in the failure of the Association of Mages.
Association of Mages?
That is what they call themselves. They're a group of spoiled brats who attempted to take over a long abandoned, magical outer plane called Darus Carla. It was made within the astral sea, a safe haven of magic collected from the weave to serve as a base for the magically inclined that did not feel at home on one of the natural planes.
This is the first time we've heard of this, right?
Yes, it is.
I'm gonna just kind of lean down and whisper to Bull Splitter and ask if any, like, if that sounds familiar.
Roll wits for me.
One.
With one success, Bull Splitter says back, I don't know.
And
Now then, I should allow you all to return to your job. My apologies for the interruption.
You have no need to apologize, Your Majesty. You were very much welcome to interrupt any sort of thing that we are doing at
Damn
any
boy.
point in time.
She reaches a hand out, and even though you are further than her wingspan, it caresses your cheek all the same. Poor displaced little boy. Your interest is noted. And then she turns.
and vanishes.
Did you hear that? She said my interest was noted. It's awesome.
It's better than nothing.
Yeah, I mean, his love interest didn't die this time, so they just left on their own accord.
I think the love interest is sort of threatening me, but it's fine. That's how most love interests go, right?
No.
It
Oh,
depends. I don't know. I don't know what AO3 tags you're into.
You don't want to know.
So Megaverse.
Are we still in character or not? I can't tell.
Yes?
Sure.
Yeah.
That was all just Gabby. That's not Glyza at all.
What do you mean in
Glyza
character?
doesn't have AO3. What is AO3? They don't have
Here it's
tags.
AO4. You guys. It's AO4.
Anyway.
That's legally
So-
listed.
Gosh, diddly dang it.
So, So I guess we just go straight to the source and beat them up.
Yeah, don't ask questions. Don't just do it.
I mean,
That's what the nice lady said. I am willing to trust her.
But we were supposed to be kind of sneaky.
well,
We can still be sneaky.
we could still be sneaky, but it's just, well, we're supposed to be careful. We're not supposed to be sneaky. That's two different
Is
things.
that not the same thing?
No,
Okay.
but
I mean, I guess you could be not sneaky and still be careful.
I don't know what your read on this is, Shaw, but an entity just giving us what we need.
Oh, this is definitely not good. But it is the only lead we have. I'm guessing this is one of the things where the Speed's probably more powerful than the other one and is fine to just rule over their domain and wants the annoyance removed. I don't know that they're going to try to expand their reach beyond the march. And considering they're saying that they're reaching beyond the whoever it is reaching beyond their means, while the other march was stable, this one is slowly growing. I am assuming that is going to be the more pressing matter. So, sure.
Hey, Alpha, did you see that whole conversation?
So, about that,
God damn it.
do you remember when you mentioned that the electrical impulses of the march ruined our communications last time?
Uh-huh.
It happened again for a little bit, but I can hear you now.
Mm. Right.
So you didn't
This-
see that beauty that just showed up and then left.
Well, I think you're all quite beautiful.
Oh, thank you.
Of course. Simply sharing my opinion.
All right. We just gotta report back the old-fashioned way. I was hoping you would have recorded that, but it's all right. It's all right, Alpha 5.
It's okay. I drew a picture, and you do see like
When?
just now. And Gabby raises.
Speed draw.
Gabby raises the journal that he carries with him everywhere, and there is a very good drawing.
No. You gotta roll how good that drawing is.
Okay, fine.
You gotta
I'll
roll how good that drawing
What
is.
I wrote.
Keep
Go
rolling.
ahead and roll intuition plus your power level, because I feel like this is one of Gabby's powers.
What, intuition for what's my power level? How do I find that
Two.
out?
Ew.
Awesome. Well, that's a lot of dice. All right. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 successes.
With 5 successes, it is a considering that the rest of you weren't exactly attracted to this creature, to my knowledge, um, it's a little haunting how good of a rendition it is. It's certainly accurate. There's no clouded judgment in the drawing, at the very least. I will say, Gabby, you um
Really?
exactly, yeah, exactly. I will say, Gabby, you did not add this, but at the bottom it does say Liliana.
Oh, I guess she did give me her name. Did I show this to the others, or was I covering it somehow and I only
Yeah,
read it?
it's on the front, like when you hold up the thing, it's at the bottom, almost like an artist signature at the bottom.
Oh, Liliana is not my name. It probably is her name.
Alpha 5, send back to headquarters the name Liliana and also the Association of Mages.
Understood. I'll get right on it, Sir Clev.
All right, time to beat up a guy that's expecting us, but carefully.
Yes.
Yeah. Clef, you seem very focused. And I don't know. I mean, are you okay?
Yeah, you know, I think I was just, inspired by our team leader earlier. Um, but I think it was also the cookies.
Oh.
It's
Cookies were delicious.
it. I suspect if we don't get this done soon, it's gonna wear off, and I'm gonna crash.
It's a sugar high.
Do
Okay, I was
you
just worried
also
about
want to
you.
eat a sheep?
I always feel weird about. I know they're fine with it. It's just
That's what they're there for.
it always. I can't not
Ah,
make eye contact.
I mean, you could eat it butt first.
You can eat it, ass! I'm sorry.
Alicia's laughing, not Shaw. Shaw wouldn't.
I mean, now I kind of want to eat one because I feel left out.
It's delicious.
Everyone can eat one.
everyone who like chows down on a sheep, they're very good cotton candy. Um, you can have 2 momentum going into your battle
Yeah.
Oh,
Yay!
for the
yay!
sugar rush.
Those are good for you.
Oh man, my momentum's gonna freaking increase so fast.
Yeah, yeah, tireless is real good for that. So, with that having been said, as the Tidebreakers make their way deeper into the march of wretched sorrow, passing
Carefully.
the yes, passing the sort of dilapidated buildings and the empty personalityless husks of people with the glowing hands that hold what are apparently called crucius crystals in them. That is where we're going to go ahead and take our break, and
Break
we will
time.
be back soon. Everybody out there watching us, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate all of the raiders. Get yourself some water, get some snacks. Come on back. We'll be back in, like, we want to call it 10 minutes, Cass. Does that sound good? Cool. So we'll be back in about 10 minutes. We will see you then for the dramatic conclusion of episode 4, Where Did the Stars Go? See you in a second.
layers, unattainable prayers with unsustainable players. All that bass got unexplainable layers, unattainable prayers with unsustainable players. All that got unexplainable layers, unattainable prayers with unsustainable players. All overdose got unexplainable layers, unattainable prayers with unsustainable players. All that
One.
Hello and welcome back, lovely members of the Critical Misses viewer base. It's time for the second half of episode 4 of Tidebreakers Resurgence. Last we left these lovely people, the uh, Tidebreakers themselves, entered into the march, their target, looking for a man in a big suit of armor. And as you all continue through the March of Wretched Sorrow, you do begin to see, as you continue closer and closer to what would be the center geographically, um, you see that there's more and more of those sort of like shambling people, all white in the eyes, the collars and chain around the neck, that sort of just drifts off into the air until it like dissipates essentially. Um, but you do also see a couple of people who have no chains attached to their collar, oddly enough. And some of those people are making their way towards you and they're being chased by several of those imps. What would you all like to do?
I would like to shoot Rocket Blade at those imps.
All right, so Gabby immediately produces a rocket launcher. Go ahead and roll an attack.
Sweet. Uh,
They're going to attempt to block this because they don't know that it's coming.
yeah.
So you can roll with might.
Sweet. Can I add my leadership thing? Because I'm taking lead of the situation.
Sure.
Sweet. All right. That is 3 successes.
Fantastic. With 3 successes, they are going to roll to defend. So you all watch as Gabby lifts up this rocket launcher that he produces from nowhere, fires out this blade, and it goes spinning and spinning, and just decapitates all 3 of the imps in one fell swoop. They clump to the ground. The people look vaguely horrified, but also thankful as they approach. Thank you so much.
Gabby does shout for Liliana, or was it Lily? It was Liliana, right? And then looks at the
Yes,
journal again. It's like for Liliana. Yeah, that's what he does.
fantastic. They approach and say, uh, "Yes, well, again, thank you for the being saved. Um, do you know how we can leave?"
Maybe. I think
Okay, well, they look vaguely worried by that.
I think we just need to remove those things. And he does point to the gems that are there.
The hands.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I certainly have no attachment to it. It was placed on me when I was brought here.
Is it easier to just take them all off?
I have no idea.
Storyteller, is it easy to just take them all off?
You could
I
certainly
will
try.
just take them all off. Just grab it at it.
Good. So you reach down at this person and you grab and pull at this gem, and there's a decent amount of resistance. How hard would you like to pull? Just like as
As
hard
hard
as
as
you
I
can?
can, like making it cartoony where you put the foot on the guy's. Yeah, as
Yeah,
hard as
yeah,
you
yeah.
can. Yeah.
Gotcha, gotcha. All right, go ahead and roll for me might plus your
All
power
right.
level.
Cool. My plus my power. What's that? 1, 2, 3, 4 successes.
Okay. With 4 successes, you pull and tug, and eventually it does and pull free from this person's hand, leaving sort of a trail of what looks like this like brackish, like red like blood, but also with like flakes of purplish in it. It sort of scatters across the ground. And the man looks up and goes, "Oh, oh, God, that was far from pleasant. Goodness." And he sort of like flexes his fingers. Um, you see that the chainless collar that was around his neck does not disappear. But the gemstone quickly like darkens. It goes from glowing brightly to completely dull.
Oh. Try walking in that direction. Points to like the exit just to see.
Okay. Thank you again.
You're
And
welcome.
he
Wait,
starts
we should probably
to make
take care
his
of
way.
the chains before they try to go. Isn't that part of the problem?
I thought it was just the gems.
Can I I'm gonna chase after them for a second. Go, wait. Can I study the chains to see if there's a
Sure.
way to remove
So there's no chain on this person. He just has like the,
or the
for lack
collar?
of a
I
better
mean,
term, yeah, just the collar. Um, Go ahead and roll me intuition. You can add one advantage for your jobs and specialties. This is going to be a DR3.
4.
Okay, so with 4 successes, you take a look at it, and this is magic, and it is not something that has been enchanted. It is magical at its core. Thusly, you're not sure that it can be removed without the source of it going away. At the very least, you would need someone who's less a mechanic and more a arcane researcher, if
Well,
there
let
is
me
a
ask you
reason.
this real quick.
Sure, sure.
Is this um hang on one second. I normally have a thing for this.
I believe it.
Um, is this an interactable?
Yes.
Can I use the adventure part of Chain Break Overdrive for the overload portion? You may target a spectacular or mundane interactable and cause it to cease operating for a number of scenes equal to your power level by rolling might plus power.
Sure. So you reach your chainsaw up to this man's neck, and he's just like, "Oh, oh God, no! I'm sorry. Please."
No. It's fine. Hang on. Uh, and she's gonna slip her hand under
Mhm.
the collar itself, and then uh, once a bow splitter is activated, go. Okay, bonding time. Don't cut me. And she's gonna go through. So basically, she puts her hand in between, so the person won't get hurt.
Gotcha.
But she's also sure that she won't get really hurt
Go
because Bull
ahead and
Splitter is
go ahead and roll.
okay.
I'll say this is DR. This is DR2.
Okay. One.
Okay. So with
Whoop.
one success, I'm going to say you take 2 points of attrition damage.
That's fine.
Um, as you are going to cut through this collar, as soon as the teeth of Bull Splitter make contact with it, you get this flash of white, and you are flooded with memories. Memories inside of a what looks to be a wooden bar. You like this tavern, and you look around and you see that your adventuring party is busy drowning their sorrows after you've just slain the beholder that you were last contracted to. And you look across from you over this frankly disappointing ale, and you remember the tiefling man that sat across from you, offering you a comfortable life away from all the death and bloodshed. No more revivifying these ungrateful people, even though you do like them. And all it means is he gets to what? Keep tabs on you? Use your magic? Sounds like a good deal to you. You sign your name down, and then the flash ends. And you see this old man is like frozen stiff, trying not to move.
Are you okay?
Yes. Are
Okay.
you okay?
To be decided. And she's gonna like kind of slip it away, and then like whisper to Bull Splitter, "Splitter, are you okay?"
I'm fine, but you don't seem like it.
Okay, that didn't work. This is innately magical, so I can't do anything about it. I don't think right now.
Uh, and you see the man looks sort of confused and says, "You know, before today, I would have said that magic wasn't real, but then this bubble grew over the hospital, and suddenly I was here. I is is magical things, are they covered by AARP?
I
I
don't know. You'll need
don't.
to talk
Who
to
do
your
I go
insurance
to?
about that.
Uh, okay, can I go?
You could try, but I don't think you can leave with that on your neck.
Oh dear." And you see he just sort of like shuffles off towards where Gabby points at him toward an exit.
Before I end what I'm doing, just so other people can do things, I'm going to look at Bull Splitter and go, "Do you ever remember being someone with a pair of horns?
No,
A tiefling?"
fuck is a
I
tiefling?
don't know, but the word came to me.
I got nothing.
Good to know. Good to know.
Um, would anybody else like to do anything in particular? All right. So you all continue your way toward the center of the March of Reckless Sorrow. And as you do, the people grow more and more sparse. There are far less of them, and there starts being those will o wisps that you saw through Alpha 5. Um, and they appear like some of them cast a glance over to you. Um, they're sort of like ethereal ball of fire form, but they seem distracted, discombobulated to some degree. They sort of like bump into trees and into each other as they are going through.
I attempt to talk to one of it.
Yeah, what do you say?
Hello? Are you lost?
Uh, no, we work here.
Nice. We need to go somewhere. to find this big armor dude. Can you lead the way?
Okay, listen, I don't really have time for that. Everything's going wrong, and Master said we have to try and. Hey, you get back over there! And you see that one of them flies over to one of the chainless uh collared people and sort of like bonks him on the head, just like whole body ramming into his forehead a couple times. Like, stop! Get over there!
What do those things do to them? The collar thing.
They don't do anything. They're representative of their pacts, the deals that they made.
Do
Huh.
you do you mean like a deal like selling your soul?
Some of them, I don't know, people are here for various deals. Some of them just agreed to be a part of the experiment. Hey, stop it! And like again, like pushing a couple of people back, like from amongst the trees and stuff like that.
You
When
said
they
something went.
Yeah, very.
What?
I don't know. A bunch of people's deals just disappeared.
Oh,
Master thinks that the person that they made the deal with has likely been killed, but I don't know who the fuck could kill Cymbeline. He's so strong, but it's not my job to ask questions. I'm just
oh
here
yeah. I have no
working
idea.
overtime again. God
I have
forbid my
no
wife
idea.
finds out.
Yeah, we have no idea who killed that guy.
I
Yeah.
wouldn't expect you to. Do you want something?
every time that the will-o-wisp turns away from the people, I'm like taking the little the diamonds out of their hands.
Amazing.
Just a direction. Honestly, we're looking for your master.
Right. You said you wanted to talk to the boss. He's that way. He's in the giant ziggurat. You can't miss him.
Perfect.
Hey,
Thank you.
go
You
eat the
so helpful.
pomegranate. And you see it sort of like zooms over to another tree.
If somebody eats the pomegranate, what happens to them?
They're not for people. They're my masters. And besides, they're terror fruits. Why do you want to eat a terror fruit?
Hmm.
Just out of curiosity. Just wonder what
You,
it does.
you Mortys are so fucking weird. It does the same thing that the tree does. If you inhale the smoke, you see shit. All right? It's a hallucinogenic.
Right. Well, thank you. You've been very helpful.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
if Shaw is not looking,
God's always
Gabby,
looking.
If
Gabby,
you go near that pomegranate, Shaw knows. If you're doing something else, fine.
I feel like specifically based on the conversation you've just had with the Will-O-Wisp, Shaw is definitely
Definitely.
looking
Damn
at
it.
you.
I mean, we can. you can still try. I mean, it's like Shaw's looking. There you
I will
go.
just get it. I won't eat it.
It's one of
I will
those things that it's one of those things that you like turn to see if Shaw is looking and Shaw is staring directly at you.
Exactly, yeah.
And it's just like, I'm not gonna eat it. I'm just going to study it later
I'm just going to inhale it.
in a lab with people.
Shaw's gonna summon one of the sheep to just watch Gabby.
I'm not gonna eat it.
You know
I'm
what?
just
Yeah,
gonna
it's
roll it
Philip.
up into a
Philip's back.
doobie.
Yep.
Hello, Philip. You were delicious.
Ah,
I'm gonna put this in my pocket. And that is it.
all right. Okay. Pomegranate in
When
its
we
hand.
all Oh, I'm so
That's
sorry.
Go ahead.
that's a mouse tool we could use for later.
I'm gonna communicate to everyone what I saw now that I know that the smoke's a hallucinogenic.
Like you saw the remembering thing.
So it's a hallucinogenic. It doesn't kill necessarily.
Based off
Yeah.
of the very brief, I will say you all have received some form of magic training. Now that you have a basic understanding as to what you're looking at, everybody can roll me wits with a DR of 3.
Everybody can
Rolling
roll
wits.
Yep.
wits. All right. What was my wits
Nope.
again?
No successes.
Okay. Can I add active listening to this? Because I was actively listening.
If you were actively listening in class,
No,
then
sorry,
yes.
3 successes.
Sure, I was actively listening in class
So yeah,
during
go
this
ahead and
discussion.
add that advantage.
2 successes.
3 successes.
Okay, so everyone but Chainlink, you remember that these must be something that is called a terror wood tree. They were supposedly said to have been trees that inexplicably grow on dead land. And they bear no leaves, but they do at random times throughout the year bore pomegranates that used to be called terror fruit.
Do we know what they do?
Because this was a long time ago. Terrorwood trees have been extinct since the end of the Age of
But it
Stones.
seems like uh in this March they're like bountiful.
It seems like there's quite a few of them here, yeah.
Well, I wonder if this March goes away that these trees will be extinct again, except for I guess the one pomegranate that you have in your pocket.
Well, we'll see if I can even take it out of here. Shall we continue then?
Yeah, let's go talk to the boss.
Yeah, let's do
Also,
that.
how many? We were just supposed to take the crystals out. Like we don't destroy them, as far as Liliana told us.
She didn't say anything about destroying
Yeah,
them.
just take them out.
Sure. You got them in your
I
pocket.
just got a bunch of crystals now. I guess don't know what to do with them.
Sounds good.
I hate it
So
so
you all,
much.
I was gonna say I was
what
gonna
do you mean?
melt them because, but
Can
I don't know.
try. So you all make your way towards and up El Ziggurat, and as you do, you are expecting resistance. When you got to this point in the previous march, this was usually like where the guards and stuff were. Um, as you enter the ziggurat, it is a scene of absolute carnage. There are halves of bodies just strewn about the room. It looks like giant chunks have been bitten out of some of these guards, and it is easier to find a wall that is not, or excuse me, it is harder to find a wall that is not covered in gore than the opposite. The smell of blood is thick in this ziggurat, and there's a trail of it that leads back through the front room and down a hall.
Gabby clothes beam, really tall shoes.
Okay, so you clothes beam yourself some like
Yeah.
rain steppers. Yeah.
This is
Fantastic.
a little disgusting. We should find out what did this and stop it.
Can we make any like checks to see if we can figure out what did this or how it was done so we might know what to be prepared for?
You can make an intuition roll. Yeah.
You said intuition? 2.
With 2 successes, it was a monster of some sort. It
Okay.
definitely wasn't an animal.
I
It
have a
was
question.
something preternatural. Yes.
Would it be something Liliana related?
Um, that is hard to tell at a glance. Her hands did not have claws when they touched you. And her mouth didn't seem capable of moving. Her face was a mask, essentially. So you're not entirely sure, but on a surface level, that doesn't seem
Okay.
possible.
Thank you.
I assume it's probably going to be whatever this boss guy is doing.
It might even be the boss that was killed. Might be something got to him before we did.
Well, it seems like it's the based off of what you were saying about the trees and stuff. Seems like it's a land of the undead. So I don't see that as not possible.
Well, if the boss died, then the march should have disappeared.
Maybe it was the boss.
I guess we'll find out.
Careful.
Can we be stealthful and careful?
Sure.
I think we might need it in
Not
this situation.
mathematically possible.
Shit. Okay, we got just one.
Not scientifically loud. They're high heels.
I love
That's
it's
what
like
they-
high. They're both high on your leg, but also high tall.
Yeah.
I love that.
Amazing. So y'all begin making your way through the ziggurat. I will save us the time of a stealth check because there's no one left alive in this structure. As you walk through, you see more and more bodies thrown and torn. You even see some bullet holes down a couple of pathways, burn marks. It's odd to say the least. Um, as you continue, you begin to smell fuel and gas of some amount, and even traces of sugar in the air. Very odd mixture of scents coming from the inside of this ziggurat. But as you get to the open room with a throne in it, you see the trail of blood that you've been following leads to a limping man in large black armor that has been bent inward, which has surely broken several of his ribs, no doubt. And a chunk of his side is just completely gone. And he's sort of dragging himself over to this tablet that he's clutching in his hand. And he says, "No, you don't understand. We have to get rid of all of them, Norin. They have to be gone. We've been tricked." And he suddenly looks up and he says, "Of course," and drops the tablet, stabbing a large sword into the ground and using it to pull himself up. He looks at you all and he says, "Tide breakers. So, you've been left unscathed. Sounds about right, given the day I'm having."
Are you okay?
And he
Did you
sort
do
of
something with your hair?
he just looks at you, Gabby, and he says, "You'll forgive me if we skip the pleasantries." And he pulls the sword out of the ground and gets into this very wavering, like one armed stance.
Are you sure you really want to do that right now? You're not you're not in the greatest position.
I have strength enough in me to kill the 4 of you.
Sure. All sure. I'm just saying that you're having a really bad day and I kind of want to know what happened.
Gabby, go ahead and roll agility for me as
Sweet.
this large, or excuse me, focus, as this large blast of sword energy comes barreling towards you.
Sweet. I only have one focus. And it is a 6. I mean, it's one success
Fantastic.
though.
Um. Oh God, why? All right. So he got 5 successes.
Sweet.
So you all watch as Gabby is just cleaved in twain by this blast of lasers energy, and just he disappears out of existence. And I need everyone to roll me initiative.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One
Is
day.
you in this
In
just
memory.
One day.
Gabby, can you do me a favor and roll initiative as well?
Yes, I will.
What is initiative again?
So you are going to be rolling your agility and tallying how many successes you got.
Would you mind repeating that again, please?
Agility, and then just take note of how many successes you have. So that is 3 for Chainlink and 2 for Shaw.
That's 2 for me.
We do.
Did for me as
So
well.
it goes Chainlink, and then y'all can do this in whatever order you would like. Lev / Shaw / Gabby. We're gonna say that Gabby's definitely last because the whole dead thing.
Yeah.
But outside of that, you're good to go.
Yeah.
Um,
Shaw would go second to last then. So she can do
Sure.
her concentrate thing.
Gotcha. So first up, it is Chainlink because ties go to the player for initiative.
Okay. Well, that sucks. I mean, we've seen Gabby die before. I would like to go ahead and remember Gabby. Um,
Mm,
you know, and actually we'll think back on earlier today with how kindly Gabby was treating Melvin. And it was just a really great time.
I will remember you.
You.
But I will remember Gabby. Um, and then I just want to go right into it. We'll do Heartlink Hex.
sure.
So let's see.
He's going to try and dodge
Sounds good.
this. So you can roll with agility.
So let's see. They do have to. I think they do have to roll for the curse as well after the attack. Okay.
Yes, if the attack hits. Yeah.
Um, that's 3.
Okay, he got
Okay.
2. So that is 1 success. And then go ahead and read the curse for me.
Yeah, until the end of the opponent's next turn, they treat 4s as failures. If the target succeeds on this check, refresh curse until they fail.
Gotcha.
And then I don't
And
have.
you said you got 3 successes, right?
Yes.
Okay. All right. He did fail the first check.
Okay, cool. So 4s don't count anymore. It's only 5s and 6s. I'm gonna choose not to. Actually, you know what? I will win because I'll be able to go ahead and go before them and not mess up Shaw's stuff this time. So I will use the downshift after this attack to go to 3 right? Or would it just be
Yeah, yeah,
okay,
you're correct.
or 2?
Yeah, so you do the downshift.
Okay, so let's see. Yeah. So this attack, she just pretty much goes right in. Like once Gabby is hit, kind of through this the as Gabby falls, almost right behind him, uh, Chainlink just comes in and immediately presses Bull Splitter up against the sword in kind of a clash.
Gotcha.
And then we'll kind of jump back and then around to prepare for the downshift.
Sounds good. All right. On Sir Lane's turn, he is going to take a swing at Clev.
What? I'm just
He's
standing here.
Yeah, he's gonna use might. So go ahead and use that endurance to block.
3 successes.
All right. Since fours don't count for him as successes, he got 0 successes. So what does it look like when you just completely repel this man?
I think it's like I feel like this guy is off balance because he's got part of his chunk of his side taken out.
But yeah, when
He's
he swings the blade at you, he's coughing up blood.
he's coughing up blood. I think it's more of just like 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 pushing his sword away. He's not even like trying like blocking it or anything. He's just like push using his movement against himself.
Yeah, that's about what it looks like. All right. And Shaw, you said you were specifically doing your concentration joint.
Yep.
So, Clev, it is your turn.
I just feel bad. I I'm going uh I'm going to what does this do?
Murder.
Yeah, I think I'm I'm gonna use my paradoxical cold impact, but just kind of like open palm it and just like make it like move the sword out of the way and just fully just like a like a sumo wrestler, just like fully
Sounds
just
good. What
hand
stat are
palm.
you attacking with? Or rather, I choose because I'm defender. That's right. B. So go ahead and roll endurance or might. Sorry, he's using endurance.
Yeah, so I would add in boxer with to that.
Oh yeah, I'd say so.
Um, okay, so that's my okay. That's 3 successes.
Okay. Since fours don't count, he got 0 successes. So you palm this guy in the chest, and he coughs out this blood, which freezes on impact with his lower chest as he stumbles backwards and falls to his feet, and he's struggling to stand back up.
Man, this is what happened to you. This is a pathetic of a fight, but what the hell happened to you before we got here?
Oh, of course. You wouldn't know, would you? The
No, that's
vanguards.
why we're asking.
Always so far behind everyone else. We were played for fools. That's what happened. And he will
Association of Mages stab you in the back.
drag himself up and say, The Association of Mages is a brotherhood, united through our journey for Darius Karlon. It was that woman, that witch. She tricked us. These things. And he takes off. You see that he's been missing a glove this whole time, and he like throws it onto the ground. There's a glimmering dark red crucius crystal. They made us more powerful, but at what cost? And with that, Shaw, it is your turn.
Okay. So I have not been attacked yet, but I'm still doing my whole shebang. Like, all right, looking for the best opportunity to hit this dude up style. So yeah, so we're gonna do the especially the psychological profile. So yeah, so muted corner effect. Or season for first turn. That doesn't matter. So the free counter attack didn't happen because I didn't get attacked. But now on, I basically have this number.
Nice.
And no one's been seriously hurt yet, so we'll hold off on the sheep for now.
Doke. Then we move to Gabby.
Is there an interactable in the room?
Well, you are not currently in the room as you
Oh,
feel your body be sliced in twain. Um, you are suddenly in a very quiet tea room with this very stern looking dark skinned woman with these very pretty dark blue box braids. Um, and she says, Gabby,
ma'am.
what exactly are you doing?
Dying, apparently?
That is not what I'm talking about. I understand you have a penchant for crushes, but the mother of monsters, a child of Charlie, really?
Okay. She was really tall.
You need to have higher standards than really tall. It is fine. It is fine. You've not done anything yet, but you have drawn her attention. She is looking for people like you, Gabby.
People who have crushes on her?
No, Gabrielle. People who can slip through reality.
I don't even know how to control it.
Exactly. But she does. So I suggest you learn and learn quickly.
Do I know you?
Everyone knows me.
Will I
And she,
will I remember this?
go ahead. She stands and says, to be honest, I am not sure with you. You are odd. I borrowed this tea room from my friend Genevieve. Hopefully, that helps you retain them. She was always better at talking to mortals than I was.
Do I go someplace every time I die?
Think of it like a waiting room. Purgatory seems to have a very strong hold on your soul, which makes sense seeing as you are lusterless, being from another world.
Yeah.
You cannot cross the Rainbow Bridge, and thusly death has trouble sticking.
My mom did say I was trouble.
She's a very astute woman. Do not make any deals with the clearly evil person.
Okay. I will not make any deals with the clearly evil, gorgeous, tall monster lady.
I
I'm
love
still
loves the
allowed
world
to
that
have
does not.
crushes, aren't I?
You can do what you like. You blow up the world, it is not my fault. Edwin, send him back. and you see that you are suddenly shunted, like pulled through. You watch reality zoom and close to a point until you blink a couple of times. And Gabby reappears in this shower of dramatic sparkles, cape flapping in the wind, standing atop the throne with his dramatic power at his full command.
I'm back.
That is your
Okay.
turn this time, though, and you will all note that this is a record on respawn time for Gabby.
Do I remember these things that I?
You do.
All right. I am gonna go. Um, I'm gonna go prolonged eye contact at Boss Man.
Okay. So go ahead and he is going to he's gonna try and block question mark.
Yeah, basically, I'm gonna stare at him and like make him in awe of me coming back, so that he will listen to me as I
Gotcha.
speak.
So go ahead and roll plus your might score.
I might. Can I have charming and leadership added to it?
You can have charming. I don't believe leadership is assisting you in this
Sweet. All right.
particular.
Conflict resolution because I'm resoluting a conflict. I don't know. I'm
Uh,
trying to I'm trying to calm him down so that he would listen to us and not fight.
it's okay. If you are particularly not trying to do damage, I will say you can
I
add
am not
conflict
because I
resolution.
want to stop him. Like I want to listen. I want him to talk to us. Awesome. All right. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ooh, that's nice. 5.
Okie doke. With 5 successes, you managed to activate your copy knowledge ability. What you doing?
Prolonged eye contact. Basically, I'm trying to let's see. What does that do again with the mirror? Pulling it up here. Apologies, my computer lost it. Oh wait, let's see.
All good.
No problem.
I am going to no. I'm able to drain momentum from him
Mhm.
and replace it with attrition.
Attrition. Mhm.
Yeah. But basically like I'm trying to drain anger and
Sure, sure.
and replace it with just tiredness and letting him listen to us.
Okay, so I will say you gain 3 momentum. He gains 3 attrition, and you can see like as you reappear, there's like what little bit of like confidence he had is just like, well, shit. Apparently, they can come back from being dead, and he's just kind of like, he doesn't necessarily seem any more friendly towards any of you, but he lays his sword down, being extremely respectful to the weapon, and just leans his back against the throne. Just kind of over it, it seems.
Was Were you attacked by someone called the Mother of Monsters?
So you do know of her.
Yeah. Yeah. I believe she has taken note of me.
Well, good fucking luck. Fine.
Eh,
I'll be frank. I hate that woman. Thusly, I'll tell you anything I know about her, but you won't get a word out of me about the Marches or the Mages Association. I'll die with some dignity.
So she gave you this crystal?
She gave us all of them. They're meant to draw magical energy, latent magical energy from those that live in the material plane. We were collecting it. We were going to wield it to try and construct an artificial rainbow bridge so that we could return to the astral sea and finally reach Darius Carlon. We've tried for so long. Nothing. But it was a trick. She had no intention of letting us keep the energy we gathered. We thought that she wanted the souls, not the magic. But the greedy bitch seeks both.
How did you meet her?
Seems so conflict of interest.
You know what an angel investor is?
Yeah, my
Well,
father was one. Long. Anyway,
you're trying to do something as grand as reach a place that hasn't been seen in millennia, especially from a plane of existence disconnected from the others. You need assistance. So, another member of the Mages Association used her contact at some company called Midas Tech to fund research into a particular excursion to the deep sea. I believe it was codenamed Project Digital Python. The research was led by a Dr. Anati Green. They were sent down there under false pretenses to weaken the chains of magic that bound that damnable woman. I didn't know what she was. It was foolish. Damn it! And you see he sort of like throws something in his pocket just against the wall.
Go ahead. Sorry.
no, I was just.
You say he took some out of his pocket and threw it against the wall? Okay.
Mhm.
Kira, go get it for me.
Ah. What were you saying, Gabby?
No, I was saying, can we stop her?
Well, that's what you people do, isn't it? You're vanguards. Heroes. That's what you've always done, is meddle in plans that you don't see fit to complete. I don't care if you can kill her or not. You see he pauses for a second. But I can tell you, she will not stop. Not Liliana, but and he pulls himself to his feet. The other. And you see a look of genuine worry sort of come over the face. The last member of the Mages Association, she's not going to stop. She's always been the most stubborn of us all. She won't listen to any of it. I tried to warn her to destroy the Crucius crystals, but she's going to continue. I don't know what the march will morph into if her influence grows too strong.
You need to stop this then. At least yours.
And you see he starts to nod and says, "Yes, I suppose I do." And he begins to rumble and quake, and so does the ground underneath him. And he says, I suggest you make your exit quickly. And there's a small mote of darkness that starts to um, expunge out of the core of his. And he says, I will bring this place down molecule by molecule. And then you all freeze in place.
Now then, Lane, there is no need to be a sore loser. Walking in between all of you, Liliana plucks the black hole from the front of his chest and squashes it. Besides, these lovely people have more than earned their escape. And we need to chat. And you see exploding out of her back, there's 7 inky black tendrils that pierce into the various gaps in between the armor. He is lifted up into the air, and the mask-like face cracks beneath the mouth, revealing this cavernous, dark, black hole-like maw. You all suffer 10 attrition damage just from seeing this sight beyond the stars, this eldritch entity given avatar-like form, as she consumes him whole. And then she turns, tendrils alight, and says, I'll be seeing you soon, Tidebreakers. And
In a flash of white light, you're all standing in Tiari. Special Agent McNamara sort of stumbles out of his chair. He seemed to be recalibrating his watch and say, well, how'd it go?
How do you feel about worshipping the ruler of monsters?
I haven't had good interactions with extra dimensional entities.
Then poorly.
All right. Well, at the very least, the march is gone and the city of Tiare can begin to put things back together.
Just like slowly calling Soren. Just like, hey, Soren. It's your boy, Clev. Uh,
The phone rings a couple of times, but it eventually picks up.
hey, Soren. It's Clev and gang. Put it on speaker. It's Clev and gang. I think we're fucked.
As you hear, as you put the phone on speaker and you say, "I think we're fucked," you begin to hear, Clev, listen to me. Listen closely. Do not come back to Vanguard HQ. You stay the fuck away from here. And multiple shots ring out continuously, and then the line goes dead. And that's where we're going to end tonight's
What the
episode of
fuck?
Tidebreakers
Oh
Resurgence.
no!
They're fucked.
We're all fucked.
Well,
So yeah,
Hmm.
a little fun time, happy-go-lucky episode.
This is fun for you?
Yeah, oh, it's a blast for me. Soren's having a pretty long day.
Percent still would.
You know, I figured that the answer wouldn't change, so that's fair. So, yeah, that was a lot. Let's do some outros. Who's ready for that? And it's gonna start in reverse order as we normally do with the gorgeous, ever so lovely. Hey, we should like go on a date sometime, you know. Petty Potentate, how are you? Where can people find you?
You're ridiculous. Anyway, yeah, I'm your petty potentate. You can find me on twitch.tv whenever I get back streaming, which got some vacation coming up for Thanksgiving, so might actually have to stream for once. That's at Petty Energy. You can find me there. There are social media sites. If you're already mutuals, fine. If you're not, I don't know how you find. Just here in my stream really are the best place to find me. I don't bring consistency anyway. Um, yeah, this is at least Kevin's okay.
Evan is very specifically
It
okay.
might
He
take
is with you
Kevin
all.
Yes, buddy.
to distract me from the lovely, monstrous, gorgeous thing.
Down
Anyway,
boy.
sorry.
Fantastic. All right, next up we have MILF's favorite cookie, AJ. How you doing?
What's up? I'm AJ, also known as Husha Kid. You can find me all over the internet as Husha_Kid. You can also find all my stuff at hushakid.wordpress.com. I am the technical producer of Critical Misses, and yeah, you could tune in for our other show on Tuesdays for the next 2 weeks. The Side Questers, which is in the world of Wildavir. It's a funny little show. It's a great show. It's a great time. They're funny little people, and they are trying to find their boss. Um,
Oh, hey, samesies.
yeah, sames. Um, so yeah, yeah, stay tuned for a lot of different stuff because a lot of different stuff. If you're gonna be at PAX, I'll be at PAX. You say hi.
Oh yeah, putting the variety in variety streamer. Next up, we have the ever classic.
Hey, I'm Glyza. I go by they, them, and I do a lot of things on the internet. But right now, I want to take this time to ask of every single one watching now and in the future to call for a ceasefire and to stop the genocide of the Palestinian people. Call your reps, send letters, faxes, and text messages, protest, and educate yourself by going to decolonizepalestine.com. But mostly bring the truth of what's happening to the public. Witness for yourself and show what's happening right now in Palestine. From the river to the sea, Palestine will be free.
Yes, and we will get that link posted in chat in just a second. And next up we have Serenity Click Clack Snack. How you doing?
Hello.
Where can people find you?
I am Serenity. You can find me all over the internet as Click Clack Snack. Whatever pronoun, she, fe, any, she, fe preferred. You can find me every other Sunday on Tragedy of Theologian on Total Party Kiss. You can find me here every Monday until we are done. Tuesday, Thursday. I know what day it is. No, I don't. Mondays. Faye Wild and Out. You can find me there on Mondays until that's done for Triangle Agency. And then also, if you want to see me at PAX, I will be there. Come say hi. And if you want to get away sometime next year and go on a cruise, but also still be a nerd and play Dungeons and Dragons, you can at the D20 cruise. I will be working it. If you go into my link tree, I have a discount code that gives you $50 off. Which is pretty cool. And you can play with me or any of the other people that will be there. You could say hi to me. That's fine. So,
Fantastic. And last and certainly least, it is I. Hello, my lovely creatures of the dark.
What was
My
that?
name is D. I am a voice actor, streamer,
Mm-mm.
musician,
What was that?
professional GM all
What was
across
that?
the
What was
internet.
that? You
I
act like
cause
someone said so. No,
problems.
no, no, no. Back up. Rewind. What was that?
Right. Yeah. What was what? I do
Best and
outro.
wonderful.
That's me.
Now
Smile emoji.
continue.
I'm a voice actor, streamer, musician, professional GM all across the internet. If you'd like to keep up with me on the dying side of Twitter, you can follow me on Twitter at It's the Riddler. That is also the same handle you can find me with on most things. I'm also a streamer over here on Twitch. I'm about to begin a playthrough of Darkest Dungeon 2 over on my Twitch channel later this weekend, maybe. It might be Monday. Kind of got a busy week. But as you can see, we have a lot of fun. This is a grand old time. So be sure to join us next week for the penultimate episode of Tidebreaker Resurgence, episode 5, title Withheld. And we are going to have just such a lovely time. And speaking of having a lovely time, AJ, do we have anyone in particular that we're going to raid?
Elizabeth
There
Marchini.
you go. We're going to raid over to there. Use whatever emotes you got, people. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Thank you so much for joining us. And I'm gonna continue vamping until the raid's ready. There we go. We did it. We certainly did it, gamers. All right, so we will see you all in the next time. But until the next time we do see you, drink some water, wash your hands, be good people, and tell someone you love that you love them. We will talk to you
Happy
very soon.
Palestine.
Goodbye.
Toodaloo.
Unexplainable layers, unattainable prayers with unsustainable players. All that goes, yeah, unexplainable layers, unattainable.